All right, shalom, shalom, boys. Here. Well, it was a beautiful, beautiful daddy-daughter date that I took my second oldest daughter out, and let me tell you, man, we did it up. Uh, I spent money on getting her a new dress, shoes, um, head wrap. We went to uh, play some video games at Chuck E. Cheese because Atomic Park was closed, but she enjoyed it. We went toy shopping. We went candy shopping. We After that we went to a nice, beautiful, extravagant dinner. We had appetizers. We had dessert. She had a nice big old steak. Then after that we went to a Shrek musical down at the Carson Center. And let me tell you, it was just top notch. And we just had a beautiful time. I mean, these are the kind of experiences that our daughters need to experience with their fathers. And one of the things that touched me the most about this evening was how appreciative my daughter was. Uh, she thanked her father at least 3, 4 times during the evening, whether we was at the musical or we was at dinner or in the car or uh, at Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, she thanked me, and it just warmed my heart because we have such an unappreciative generation today, and particularly our women. And it's amazing. It's so sad where you can treat a woman with honor, dignity, and respect. Uh, Treat her like she's never been treated before, and these sisters will spit right in your face. I mean, it's just sad. They'll show you all types of disrespect and dishonor. And so, I put this stuff out there to show the living example of what we need to be doing with our daughters to break these generational curses, so that uh, the generation that's coming up behind us, they won't have to experience this. And this is why it's so important for you men out there that have sons, because I have sons and daughters. For you to raise your sons, to know how to give love, give direction, uh, because if they don't know how to get it, if they don't know how to give it, and they're in a situation where they receive a young daughter of Zion, and they'll destroy her. They will literally destroy it. And this is why I talk over and over and over again about order in the household. Where do I get it from? I get it from the Bible. I get it from those sayings. I get it from Proverbs. I get it from Jeremiah. I get it from the Psalms. I get it from the law. I get it from the Torah, because it's holy, righteous, just, and true. And we need to see more living examples. And I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert, but it's so important for us to show the living example, because our daughters need it, our sons need it, and they're going to be better individuals for it. And I just think my daughters, they see they see the example of how I run my household, and how me and my wife interact with one another, and they're so excited about marriage. They said, they talk about, when am I going to get my husband? They really do talk like that. Whether it's the 4-year-old, the 6-year-old, or the 8-year-old, they talk just like that, and it just warms my heart because it tells me that I'm doing the right thing. It tells me that I'm giving them the example that they know that is a good example, and they're excited about the idea of marriage. They're excited about the idea of being a helpmeet to their husbands, and it just warms my heart to experience this. I mean, she was just so grateful and so thankful, and so appreciative. I mean, you just don't see that in this day and age. And let me tell you, I mean, we went into that Carson son. I'm gonna just put a video clip or a picture. But I'm telling you, man, I mean, she just looked holy. She just looked so holy and humble, and let me tell you, I mean, the place was packed tonight. And guess who was the star of the show outside of that stage? Myself and my daughter. I mean, compliment after compliment after compliment after compliment after compliment. I tell you, I mean, heads turning left and right. You know, it felt like when we were walking through the crowd, the crowd parted its way for us to come through. That's exactly what it felt like. That's exactly the experience that we had. People wanting to assist in taking pictures. It was just beautiful. I mean, it just warmed everybody's heart. And you know, and before we left, the cop came up to me and he said, "You know what? Is this daddy daughter date?" And I said, "Yes, sir, it is. It's daddy daughter date." He said, "Yeah, you know, what I mean, because you know, we see what's going on in society. This is a white man." And he said, you know, his wife is a stay at home mother. And they homeschool their children, and he's a police officer, and hey, he has four daughters, and he does the exact same thing that I do, and it just melted. I mean, it was just fist bumps and everything. And he specifically talked about a specific scenario in which he listens to his wife's um uh, uh ideas or advice, but he makes the final word, and his children and his husband, and the wife and the children, they know that. And I said, same here, same here. I tell you, society is yearning for holiness. Society is yearning for righteousness. They're yearning for the living example because they don't see it. They don't see it. Look at the women. I mean, across all races. I was looking at a TED Talks where the Chinese women, they're not getting married, they're choosing careers and stuff. This problem is global. It is a global problem, and you're not going to convince someone that they're a part of the problem when everything about their life, these women, everything about their life signifies that they're a part of the problem. But you're not going to signify, you're not going to convince them. You know how you can sit down and reason with somebody? You know what it means to reason with somebody, to sit down and talk to them in a respectful and honorable fashion, to get them to understand that, hey, what you're doing or it's not the right path, and hey, you can't reason with people today. You just can't reason with them. So I say all these things to say that uh, we need to break the generational curses. We need to give the living example so that the generation coming up behind us, they can live a peaceful life. She can go from, my daughters can go from our house or our land to their husband's land, their husband's house, and they can be a driving force in that man's home, as he fulfills his vision that the Most High Yah has put in his heart. Isn't that beautiful? But you see all this brokenness. I mean, it's sad. I mean, you just can't fix broken. I mean, over the past 10 years, understanding deliverance and holiness and the law, and being and seeing people that claim that they're in the law and filled with the Holy Spirit. I'm telling you, man, it's sad. It really is sad. Um, we need to live an example. Period. Point blank. And that's the only way we're going to produce the remnant that the Most High was talking about. Because this trash that we got today, yeah, everybody think that they holy, righteous, and true until it comes down to be holy, righteous, and true. Then that's when you find out, who's filled with His Spirit. That's when you find out, who's acting in the spirit of the law. By their fruit you shall know them, not by their words. You stay blessed out there. Now I got to go out there because I'm telling you, it was at least a $500 a night tonight. But she was worth every penny. I got to go and put on some roof and hang some sheetrock to make it all back, because I ain't sitting up expecting somebody to give me a handout. I'm a man that works through the labor of his hands to produce for his family, and I show it. as opposed to others that's sitting up in one handout. So whether it's a Patreon handout or Cash App handout, or a Venmo handout, it's sad. It's sad. Um, but yeah, hey, the living example. That's what we need. Y'all stay blessed, true, and be a part of the solution and not the problem. Shalom.